Back, and it's time for our headlines, starting with the Matrix newspaper. On the Matrix, we have BUA cement revenue surges by 90%, hits 867 billion naira. Still on the Matrix newspaper, we have Tinubu meets APC governors ahead of today's NEC meeting. With Rider Ganduje's successor, 2027 election, others top agenda. Reps launch probe into $18 billion refinery repairs, modular refinery setbacks. 2027, fresh opposition mounts against Tinubu. With rider Sule Lamido declares support for any political alliance to out Tinubu. Amechi vows to crush president's re-election bid, rallies support for ADC on page 2. Again, 4 senators defect to APC, boosting ruling party's majority. 13 top scorers, 52 caught cheating as FG releases 2025 common entrance results. Still on the Matrix, another address, same love, Adekunle Gold, Simi celebrate new home. Otudeko cleared as court drops 12.3 billion naira fraud case after set. And finally on the Matrix, England, Spain set for amazing Euro 2025 final. Alright, now to the Daily Times newspaper. On the Daily Times, we have FG to tackle natural disasters as security issues, says Shetima. Reps decry planned sale of nation's refineries. That is on page 2 of the Daily Times. We have NIDCOM demands justice for 2 Nigerians killed in South Africa. Don't leave PDP in anger, Saraki tells members. Alright, court orders Suswam Oklobia to enter defense on 3.2 billion naira money laundering charge. On page 2, NAF records 1-year incident-free operations against terrorists. 50th birthday, Mrs. Shetima thanks President, First Lady, others for support. Alright, that is it on the Daily Times. Over to the Guardian newspaper. Now we have allowed Tinubu to complete second term, Ohaneze tells Obi. Lagos food economy hits 16.14 trillion naira from 6.5 trillion naira yearly, says Sanwo-Olu. 2027, Amechi rallies supporters against election rigging in Rivers. On news page 29, 43% spike in tax revenue spurs hope for fiscal recovery, deficit cuts. Port inefficiencies, corruption, spike inflation, logistics costs by 4. Nigeria targets 100% local crude refining. On news page 5, police bust arms syndicates linked to Benue killings. I am vindicated, says Onosanya as court strikes out loan controversy case. Tinubu APC leaders converge on Villa as NEC tackles crucial issues. On news page 6, and finally on The Guardian, BRICS alignment, tariff hike worsening Nigeria's economy, LCCI laments. On business page 15. Now over to the Nigerian Tribune. We have CSOs withdraw petition against NMDPRA boss, tender apology. Osun Assembly members back Adeleke, residents vow to stick with him. I am vindicated, says Onosanya, as court strikes out loan trial. With rider court also frees Otudeko as EFCC withdraws fraud charges. On page 4. Still on the Nigerian Tribune, APC moves NEC meeting to presidential villa. With riders, whoever emerges as our chairman will promote party interest. This is from Uzodimma. PDP leaders drum reconciliation, issue warnings ahead of NEC meeting. We can solve our differences, says Saraki. Ghana seeks support for southern candidates. On page 2 of Nigerian Tribune, Ogun Rivers top death row inmates list, 3,833 inmates on death row. EU unveils 1.5 million euro support for victims of Benue crisis, others. Former PDP senators defect to APC as party Senate majority grows to 70. And finally, on the health, organ transplantation, surgeons revive dead hearts for infant transplant on page 8. Now moving over to the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard, we have French media giant acquires MultiChoice, gains full control of DSTV, GoTV on page 26. Jakande's template will save Nigeria media. This is from journalism icons, leaders and others. Tinubu, Shetima, Osibanjo, other leaders attend APC NEC today, with Rider Buhari's memory to be honored at meeting. We stand by our tariff order, didn't tamper with generation cost, says EERC. 2027, coalition formidable in theory, not sure-footed. This is from Olufasan on page 16. 2027, coalition will back any of us that emerges ADC's candidates. This is from Amechi, with riders, FG policy is not working, Nigerians suffering, ADC. Says Nigerians not feeling impact of savings from fuel subsidy removal. Amechi addresses supporters, vows to unseat Tinubu in 2027. I'm willing to work for any arrangement to secure Nigeria. Lamido explains why he won't join coalition. We won't dignify them with response, says presidency. Now to the Daily Trust newspaper. On the Daily Trust, we have NNPCL reduces fuel price to 890 naira per litre. Zamfara residents protest over insecurity. Nentawe tipped to chair APC. FG to spend $747 million on coastal highway as reps approve fresh loan. Cholera claims 13 lives in Niger. Troops kill many terrorists in Niger. Strike, doctors give FG till Saturday. Now to the Daily Independent. On the Daily Independent, we have IDPs in Benue lacking relief materials. EU raises the alarm, with rider urges action against malnutrition in Northeast and Northwest. FG elevates flooding challenges in Nigeria as national security. Coalition won't work, members are nomadic politicians. This is from PDP, with rider warns members against romancing with ADC. And finally, APC strengthens Senate majority as 4 lawmakers join party. All right, let's move to the Punch newspaper. We have tariff battle escalates. Discos rejects review talks with states, with rather 36 state energy commissioners to meet FG as tariff showdown worsens. Sanwo-Olu rallies governors Elumelu for 500 billion naira Lagos Food Initiative. Ogun residents protest after fatal crash kills 4 pupils. Bauchi governor minister raised the alarm over fake news threats. All right, that is it for our newspaper headlines this morning. And over to our review, we have Chris Maduka in the studio. As always, good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Uche. Good morning, the world. And to all our numerous friends who are watching from every part of the world, I say good morning from Nigeria, precisely from southeast Enugu, the coast city. We have so many newspapers today with so many headlines.
Exactly.
But, we try to look at some major ones. The ones, you know, the Ram says if they bring, he doesn't know how to dance, but when they bring music to his father's compound, if he doesn't know what to do, he begins to jump and jump and jump. That's why you see Rams always jump. So what am I trying to say? I am going to start with what affects me also in Enugu here. The discourse, they reject the review talks with states. That is from Punchy Punch.
Yes.
And the Punchy Punch says that tariff battle escalates. Nobody is battling with nobody. The State Energy Regulation Commissions says they want to bring down the high tariff of electricity for people living in Nigeria. So who is fighting who? Where the battle? You know? It's either the DISCOs and the GENCOs accept, because the power to regulate now is in the hand of the state commissions. So you cannot come to somebody's house and dictate for the person how you sleep and wake up. If the state electricity regulatory commission says this is how much my people in my state can pay, if it's not good for you, you relocate. Now the regulation of DISCOs and GENCOs, if, for instance, EEDC, the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, feels that EERC, Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission, is bringing down their price and there's no more good business for them in Enugu, they will relocate to Aba, or go to Onitsha, or go to another place. Then probably they will invite Ikeja or whoever. There are so many discos who thinks at 160 naira per whatever they do it, they can make gain. It's not a battle. I wonder why anyway, it's always the character of Punch to say. So there's no battle there. So nobody think, don't wear a helmet. Nobody is battling anybody. Of course, all of us that are consumers of electricity in Enugu, particularly, know where our support is. You know, if you ask me to vote, EERC, now you get this in my hand, I'll vote for you. Because to bring down the tariff in Enugu will affect me positively. So any other thing that is fighting should take the fight to Ugwuonyama or to 90, to the Gully. There are a lot of Ugus in Enugu where you take your fight to, because battles are better done up the hills. You shouldn't bring it down to a city. We are living very well in Coast City. That's, for instance, any other city that can welcome, it said 36 state energy commissions to meet FG as tariff showdown worsens. It shouldn't worsen. The federal government should look into it. Majority of Nigerians want hike of the tariffs in electricity to be brought down. Yeah. And of course, Enugu has taken the lead, and every other one should join them.
All right, now this APC, they've moved next meeting to presidential villa, and a lot of people are saying things. Uzodinma is saying whoever emerges as chairman will promote party interest. Amechi on his own end is also saying, so a lot of things are flying around.
I think it calls for laugh. You know, my father told me that when rain falls twice in a day, you have to have breakfast double. Now, because of the unusualness, for the first time in the history, I think history is completed. I think our Jagaban, the President of the Federal Republic, said with his re-election, with his election as President of Nigeria, history was completed. Now, a lot of history has begun to be written, and soon they will be completed. Part of them is that the sitting party's next meeting, for the first time in my life, I heard is holding at Asorok. So that's part of history being completed. Good luck. We should clap for the sitting party. They are doing well. Now, if they had, by directly or indirectly, want to weaken the opposition and they seized and said they did not pay grand rent for the PDP headquarters, and PDP has been scampering. You know, I don't know where PDP is holding. They will hold at the governor's lodge in Abuja. They are just running around. They themselves are pursuing and carrying their own to Asorok. Now only they know what in they pursue them. I am not a member of APC, not a member of PDP, but we are watching. As objective observers, whatever any man sow, he will reap. If he has sown a wind or storm, you will reap wild wind. If that's how they want Nigerian politics goes to be, soon they will take APC next meeting to Dubai. If it doesn't work out, they will take it to Kutuwanji. All we know is that if things were normal, we won't be having APC next meeting in Asoro. And that keep telling you what I keep shouting. If you take APC next meeting to Asoro, there's nothing about Nigeria's problem that we discussed there. You have seen the agenda. Who replaces Ganduje? And the other crucial issues concerning the party, not concerning Nigeria. Something is wrong. But we wish them good luck. We are watching. Is it not 2027? I just pray God that majority of us will be alive. Somebody after meeting in Kutuwanji, meeting in a restaurant, meet anywhere, will come back and tell us how we are living this way for this long. And they have to convince us. And if they convince us, we wish them good luck. They will get our vote. We are not saying anything. After all, Chris Maduka has only one vote. NNPCL reduces fuel price to 890 per litre. When Dangote crashed this, the price Dangote gave earlier was below this. When we were waiting to hear the price, there were a lot of confusion they brought in there. You know, Dangote fell short of telling us the price because what he intended, we heard from the grapevine that he intended to crash the price to 650 or something. Now, NNPCL did not allow that. Which refinery does NNPCL control in Nigeria that they are fixing fuel price? Which? Port Harcourt is not working. Warri is not working. Kaduna is not working. Which of the refineries that are producing fuel that are setting the price? Is it that somebody, you go and stoop across somebody's shit and Nigerians are living and allowing this to happen? You would have allowed free market. If Dangote can sell at 200 naira, you should say, why are you, if you say you are regulating the market for oil and gas, let's see it. They did it for telecom. Is telecom not utility? Oil and gas are utility. Why is this hanging over? What is there difficult for them to lead for this? They should have licensed so many modular refineries and encouraged them. We are hanging with 3 refineries that have gone. There are even case of bringing what they use to refurbish turnaround maintenance. They don't call it turnaround maintenance. I read somewhere here, they say modular refinery is $21 trillion is still hanging. But we know the amount we talked here on this desk that was found in an account of somebody who was sacked from NNPCL, whatever the L is doing there, because when they become a limited liability company, they should have built another refinery, refine their own fuel, sell at the price it came out for them, and leave open market. They are not refining oil, but they are setting price of what fuel should be sold in Nigeria. That's another error. They can do anything they want, but they can't stop us from noticing error in their actions. And I have noticed the error, and that's what I'm saying. I can't be faulted. But they go ahead deceiving with a lot of corruption and sleaze in that industry. They can deceive us for too long, but one day, monkey will go market, no go return.
Yeah. Now, another headline here, which is quite worrisome and sad. On Daily Independent, IDPs in Benue are still lacking relief materials. This is EU raising the alarm. And also on the Nigerian Tribune, we also seen that EU unveils 1.5 million euro support for victims of Benue crisis, and they are lacking IDPs.
The IDPs are lacking the relief materials.
Yes.
The people that are supposed to relieve the IDPs have relieved themselves. That's a simple analogy. There is a masquerade in my place, they call him Atumma. He said, when some long throat and greedy people, when you give them package to give more, they will chop it. So that is the case of some Nigerians who probably do not find themselves in that high level of authority, but they've been giving something for the fellow Nigerians who are suffering. They will also, play what they learned from their leaders, corruption, in anything. I tell you, Nigerians are corrupt. The only thing is that whoever has not found, maybe including me, has not found the opportunity of being corrupt will be shouting. Nigerians, they find it difficult to resist corruption. Even in Igbo land, said there are some people who call it applico. When you go to market, those the boys that run around and they also hire. Then when they applico balozu, people can do applico to a dead person body. That is the case here. And there's a high level of insensitivity, wickedness, that some families are living in ID camp in that condition. And the federal government, in their magnanimity, release some things for them, and they won't get to them. And it's on record. And most of those things may not be coming from Nigerian government. Some foreign organizations are donating relief materials, but it has to pass through an agency in Nigeria. And Nigerians, some of them have children living in their house, eating those things they gave them to, and they think they will be alive. When I keep saying, people say, I'm not that religious, but I believe in one thing. As far as I'm an African and Nigerian, an Igbo man, a proud one, there's something I believe in. Whatever any man sow, you reap it now or in the near future. Because when you chop such a when you're getting your IDP, one day you must test that condition. If not now, the generation one day will test to be in IDP for that long. And whatever they gave to people to give them, somebody will swallow it in the name of corruption. Some of them will go to church or anywhere they worship to give, God has blessed them. Bless you with corruption, such blessing that they're just abusing God, because I know what God can do. But one day, since they always do this kind of thing, I think they get away. Where are we? A lot of evil happening in Nigeria, and it stems from attitude of most Nigerians. But I have advised, let us not, because there are high level of corruption among people, we join the bandwagon, because it is a very easy way to destroy Nigeria. What corruption has done to Nigeria, the life of Nigeria will soon either explode or implode. And that's what I keep saying, God help us. Shouldn't get to that level.
Now we're also having cholera outbreaks, and it's killing people already. On the Daily Trust, cholera claims 13 lives in Niger. And Blueprint further gave more information, saying that 230 are now hospitalized.
We were here when the newspapers talked about the post-flooding and the crisis,
the health
challenges. And I analyze it. This is a flat surface. All of people build houses here. And we have new graves. We have soakaway pits, they call it. And then they have mechanics. In a flat surface, let's say this is a city. All these things, we have dustbin where people dump waste. And some of them protrude and be smelling. We have so many things, and then suddenly in this flat surface, there's flood. Everything, both the soakaway, the fresh graves, the oil that are poured on the ground, the waste dump, all swallowed by flood and shared across this surface. So after the sunshine, after the storm comes calm. Now the calmness is that anything on this surface has been corrupted, has been polluted by shit. Let us begin to be very direct. By the dead bodies that were by the dump site that they flood and share it and more. So in every society, after such crisis, the medical team should go into such community and begin to prevent by providing them, because every water source in that community is corrupt and polluted. Every source. It happens sometime in Port Harcourt, It was we tested all the packaged water, all the brands you know. None of them met World Health Standard, meaning that even the packaged ones are polluted. So what you do in such situation is to go from outside and begin to give some, tablets, some things that people use to treat their water and begin to live new life until over time, and begin to also provide medications to prevent any infections that they may contact because of flooding. And the flooding issue, yesterday, NIMET warned about 28 Nigerian states that are going to be swallowed in flood sooner or later.
Yeah, and FG saying that it should be a national security issue.
Why they are taking the next meetings to us, I hope it should be a part of the agenda. I will tell you why we are crying here. Well, God bless Nigeria. Since Uche said the time is up, God bless Nigeria and all for those who desire the blessing, because God doesn't force to give you blessing.
All right.
Desire you to get.
Thank you, Chris, for your review this morning.
Save Nature TV, news in your pocket.